Okay. Good evening, Bhamesh. How are you? You good?
Fine, fine. We are meeting this time for with a mug of tea, I guess.
Yeah. It's tea time. It's tea time, which is quite sacred in Mauritius, isn't it? Cup of tea at
Yeah.
3 p.m.
Mauritian tea time. Yeah.
Yeah, Mauritian tea time. So I wanted to continue our discussion we had last time. So last time we talked a bit about nothingness, oneness, and spirituality in general, and we kind of
Exactly.
stumbled on desires at the end of the conversation. And we said that we'll
Yeah,
continue talking about it, right?
exactly. Yeah, I remember about
And
that.
yeah, and I think it's widely discussed, desire in spirituality, let's say. And some traditions believe that we need to completely destroy desire, completely destroy the ego. For example, in Sufism and in early Hinduism, let's say, sorry, the discussion was about having no desire at all. That's why we had extreme practices like going to the forest and completely going beyond the body. So the body was a barrier. Having desires was a barrier. So you had to completely destroy it so that you could, let's say, merge with the oneness or with the cosmos. I mean, whatever term we try to use to explain it, that's what has been the traditional belief about spirituality. And the big question is it real? I mean, is it true? Because there are still some people practicing it and there are some people who don't. Like, people still think that you need to not be married, the traditional bachelor route where no sex, no marriage, and that is spirituality, giving up all the desires. So do you think there's truth to it, or is it just mumbo jumbo?
Well, I'm absolutely not in phase with this idea where desire is something which is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably in the past, we were speaking about desires with right to the cravings, to what people want to have
Mm-hmm.
more than
Mm-hmm.
themselves, right? Like,
Yeah.
I believe that previously it was considered as being the desires to get things out of arrogance,
Mm-hmm.
out of jealousy,
Yes.
probably out of the
Mm-hmm.
need to do like the others, right? So people were
Mm-hmm.
fluctuating from one point where they had marital lives. So, and there were people who were looking towards going towards God. So they were thinking about
Mm-hmm.
renunciation. Why renunciation?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very practical. Let's say I'm having an important work to do, right? And out of this, I need a place of tranquility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we have lots of bua, we have lots of people, we have lots of children doing lots of noise. And let's say I cannot cope with these noises around me. So
Mm-hmm.
what do? I try to find a place, a particular space where I can find this tranquility to focus on what
Mm-hmm.
I have to do. This is practical.
Mm-hmm.
Then I believe
Yes.
that probably those saints, those sages, those people, those mystics,
Mm-hmm.
during the time when people were living like we live in a society, whenever they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to get towards a specific focus, let's say they were in search for themselves, they were in search for God, they were in search for knowledge. So at this point,
Mm-hmm.
they were saying that being in the society, there's so many things that happen. I have to take responsibilities. I have to take care of my children. I have to take care of my wife. I have to take care of the society. I have to take care of what I have to eat. I have to take
Mm-hmm.
care of what I have to wear. So
Mm-hmm.
by taking all these into
Mm-hmm.
consideration, they said, why not move out from this space? Because these things fluctuate my mind. I cannot focus. So what they did
Mm-hmm.
at this time, they said,
Yeah.
okay, let's move. I'm going to renounce. I'm going in the forest, far
Mm-hmm.
from the madding crowd. And from there, I try to
Mm-hmm.
find, I go towards this search. Yet, he put aside all the desires, the worldly desires as they term it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still the
Yeah.
desire to go and search for spirituality. It was still the
Yeah.
desire to know oneself. You see?
Hmm.
So now we are living
Yeah.
in a world where we have to manage. I can't say that I have to leave my family, I have to leave my
Mm.
wife, I have to leave my children just to go and search for spirituality. That's that's the big
Mhm.
ego I can shoot nowadays. Because do I fear responsibility? If I'm getting
Mm.
married,
Mhm.
if I'm undertaking a task, if I have a project, should I leave all these just because I'm
Mm.
interested in spirituality? Just because
Mhm.
I want to delve into myself? I'm
Mhm.
selfish. Or
Yeah.
probably when I feel that I have done all what I had to do, I don't have
Mhm.
any such responsibilities, and then I
Mhm.
decide to go somewhere and live freely in another kind of freedom. This is
Mhm.
different. But putting
Mhm.
desires
Yeah.
as the main reason for not being able to live your spirituality in this world, I don't believe. Because
Mhm.
in this world itself, I need to work, I need to get some money, I need to feed myself,
Mhm.
I have to cope with this
Mhm.
changing world, with this evolving world. So
Yeah.
why should I leave everything and
Mhm.
go while I can still live my spirituality by having all these,
Mhm.
right? I'm at
Mhm.
home,
Mhm.
I'm at work. When I'm at work, I do what I have to do there.
Mhm.
When I'm at home, I
Mhm.
do what I have to do at home. And when I have this time for myself, I do what I can do for myself, right? Now, if you're
Yeah.
speaking about
Mhm.
cravings, I crave for others, I crave for things, I crave for excessive things
Mm.
more than what I can afford,
Mhm.
then probably
Mhm.
this is a kind of
Mm.
desire, but it's not desire, it's
Mm.
cravings.
Yeah.
I'm craving
Yeah.
for, right? Let's say
Mhm.
I have a house and my neighbor has a bigger house, and I
Mhm.
crave to get a much bigger house than his. That was not my
Mm.
desire. That is basically my craving. Some people
Mhm.
crave for sex. It's the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's not that he doesn't live with that, but it's that he's looking more
Mm.
than what he can muster. You see? So
Yeah.
I
True.
preferably say that these are cravings, cravings
Mhm.
to get things above what he really needs. The basic desires
Mm.
should be there. I should desire to
Mm.
work,
Yeah.
because desire is like putting yourself into what you're doing.
Mhm.
If I'm praying, there's this desire to pray.
Mhm.
I'm not craving to go
Yeah.
I'm not craving for praying, you see. It's not this I need this. I like to be in a meditative state. I like to be in silence, right? I desire for that because I feel good in doing this. You see? So whenever we go above desires, we go towards cravings, then
Mhm.
only we try to stumble. This is
Mhm.
what I can say about desire, for instance. Now, if let's say I'm living this material life, it's my right.
Mhm.
I'm searching for
Mhm.
knowledge. I desire for knowledge. What do? I leave everybody and go and search for this knowledge. Buddha did it
Mhm.
because during
Mhm.
his time, he has all the possibilities to do it. It was part of the trend. People,
Mhm.
renunciates were there,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I seek knowledge. I need to
Mhm.
read, right?
Mhm.
There is the internet. The
Mhm.
internet itself is a massive library. We have
Yeah.
all kinds of information.
Yeah.
What is
Google is a
right for
big
me?
guru, right?
Yeah. What is right for me? It's up to me to see. I don't say that
Mhm.
everything is in there in those information, but the knowledge is there. So I look for that. I'm seeking for an
Mhm.
experience. I
Yeah.
go and find people because seeking, a seeker. Who is a
Mhm.
seeker? He seeks. Isn't that desire?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Being a seeker is a desire. It's an intimate desire.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
why seeking something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not forging myself to kill
Mm-hmm.
people. I'm not forging myself to go out from what I have to do. You see, it's my not my that in terms
Mm-hmm.
of the selfish I. Okay, it's not the selfish my, but it's the interest.
Mm-hmm.
Having interest is itself a desire. I'm interested
Mm-hmm.
in mysticism. I'm interested in meditation. I'm interested in
Mm-hmm.
praying. It's my desires. You see?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Um, so if we look at it in a very simple way, without any desire, there won't be anything anyway. Nothing will move, right?
Mm.
So in that sense, desire is important. Because if you think about it, if you say we need to completely destroy desire, then you will not even wake up in the morning.
Mm.
Then you will not look on both sides before crossing the road. You would just get hit by a bus, isn't it?
But you know what happened? We also see desire as those, how do you call this external satisfaction.
Mm.
So when things from
Mm-hmm.
the outside attracts me, it can be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, that's the trend. That's the basic example that you can take. I have a car. I want a better car, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still have the car, but
Mm-hmm.
I want a better one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
Mm-hmm.
part of an external satisfaction. Can I
Mm-hmm.
afford this car? I want to change my car. Is it because of my need or is it because of my desire?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you wish to get a better car, which is quite
Mm-hmm.
more expensive, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine, as long as you can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but
Yeah.
if I say,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's this feeling of being stagnant. Human has never
Mm-hmm.
loved to be stagnant. He's been moving. Our ancestors have been moving
Mm-hmm.
from places and places and places until they form a society,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I
Yeah.
feel
Mm-hmm.
myself to be stagnant, I can't move. The example of the car. This car, yes, I've taken full satisfaction of having this car, of having driven this car. Now I
Mm-hmm.
need to move. I need to change. What is wrong in that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or if I see I desire for a car,
Mm-hmm.
for a better car, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the means to get that car, and
Mm-hmm.
I deprive myself and my family of so many important things just to get this car.
Mm-hmm.
This is where desires flops. You
Yeah.
see, you're going to put at
Yeah.
stake other people or yourself just to get something which is
Mm-hmm.
above expectation, above the external
Mm-hmm.
satisfaction. You do it when you can,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
when we do it in a sense where it proves to, because we have to feel satisfied when we get something.
Mm-hmm.
When there's competition with others, that's where
Mm-hmm.
it fluctuates. That's where you get stumbled, you can fall down. But when you do it for
Mm-hmm.
your own satisfaction, because having a car is not a problem. Nowadays, if you look
That's
at
not.
those so many spiritual gurus, they are one of the
Mm-hmm.
best cars.
Mm. Yeah, but that's
They
because of
might
different
say,
reasons now.
yeah, they might say they did not desire for it, but they got it and they're using it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if they're
Yeah.
doing it and they had the means to get it, so what?
Yeah.
It's the same for us.
Yeah.
Whatever we can, we
Mm-hmm.
do. If I have
Mm-hmm.
the necessary fund, I do it. I'm speaking of the car. It can be any other thing. We cannot remain here
Mm-hmm.
without having this drive to move, this drive to
Mm-hmm.
progress. It is human, right? I have the drive to reach to a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I stay here,
Mm-hmm.
I don't make any effort. How will I change? How will I evolve? I might not
Mm.
change in terms of, let's say, in my profession, an example. There is no promotion, but I still want to know something
Mm-hmm.
more. It's a
Yeah.
desire. What is wrong in
Mm-hmm.
knowing more than what you know already? There's nothing wrong
Mm.
in that. You're just
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling yourself, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that now this one life that you are living consciously. I always say that. I'm not speaking about the past lives. I'm not speaking about what I'm going to be in the next life. The only life that I'm consciously living is now, right? Let's say
Yeah.
I'm someone who studies law, right? Let's say I'm a lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
Does that mean that I only have to read and learn about law? I can have the
Yeah.
feeling of going and learn about archaeology. Probably it's part of my interest. It's part of my desire to know about archaeology, right? I may not be an archaeologist, but I still am interested in archaeology. That's where when we watch, for example, National Geographic, we have lots of interesting documentaries. Does this mean that if I'm a lawyer, I don't have the right to desire to watch any other documentaries other than my field, my own field? No, I wish to go to the beach. Why? Because I desire for this special time. I'm by the beach. There's the breeze. There's the sea. There's the sand, right? And you have all those the feeling of being in a state of wellness. You see. So have these are desires which are transient. I achieve those desires, and I'm satisfied, right? It's not about those desires that I just look at what my neighbor is doing and have to follow his steps, right? That's competition. So we cannot base ourselves in competition.
So I think the bottom line is, yeah. So I think the bottom line is checking whether your desires are healthy or no, isn't it? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, healthy is the right word, I believe. It's a healthy desire, right? For example, we've taken the example of sex, right? Desire to have sex. What's wrong in that? Is it out of love or is it out of lust? You see the difference? Desiring something out of love, satisfying oneself because of love, we get this full satisfaction. But doing it out of lust, it's not the degree of being, it's not that healthy, right? You see, because it's more of less of love, more of lust. So
Yeah.
it's not like I have to. Again, it's a craving. Somebody, if you suppress your desires, it's going to build up like a volcano. The more you suppress yourself, when it explodes, it destroys anything that comes out of its way, right? But if we try to, we know the desires. I have the desire to do something healthy. I do it, it's done. When it's done, you move on. Now I have the desire of having something and I keep it, I keep it, I keep it, I keep it. It builds up. And when it explodes, it destroys everything that is found around. So suppressing desires is still not good. Sometimes we call about mastery. We have to master our desires. Again, you know, so many people want mastery to show their potential, to show to what level they can be. That's not mastery. This is the result of mastering things that are unhealthy. I have to master my jealousy. Then only I can reach to a certain point. I have to master lust. After mastering this, then only can I go towards love. You see what I mean? When you say you have to master the ego to derive yourself, the ego, we need the ego also to move. But what kind of ego? What is that thing which is preventing me from moving ahead? That thing which is preventing myself from moving forward, that is the thing that we need to master. It's mastery is not about the ultimate desire. It's
Mm-hmm.
about what I know I cannot do.